I always loved the pastry section. It is an art, it's a science, you know, there is a recipe for it, and if you don't do it right, it's not going to come out right. I first came across Choux when I was working in a Michelin-starred restaurant in London. I immediately fell in love with them because they're just a posh donut, really. They're a delicious, flaky pastry filled with an incredible filling that you can change. Most people will know Choux as a frozen tower of profiteroles. But what I've tried to do with Choux Box is an incredible bun filled with an incredible filling. But also take it to another level by having something on top of that, adding to the overall choux. For example, our raspberry pavlova choux. You have a choux bun, it's filled with vanilla creme patisserie, an amazing fresh raspberry puree. On top of that, you have a white chocolate and raspberry puree. You've got a raspberry meringue and then freeze-dried raspberry on top of that. And that just takes it to a whole new level, and it's fun as well, which is really important. I decided that I wanted to work with food after I'd been to uni for a term. It didn't work out for me there. I went with my CV to the Royal Crescent, knocking at the door, asking for a job, no experience. And then the head chef at the time there said, look, if you want a job, you be here at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And that was it. I was there at 9 o'clock the next day and I did not look back. I walked into that kitchen and all the smells, the sounds, it was incredible. It was just like something I'd never experienced before. And I was actually really good at it as well, which was something that, you know, I hadn't really had before academically. And then I went up to Manchester. I worked for the Harvey Nichols group and learned how to make incredible macarons and other aspects of patisserie. I then went to London to work for the Michelin-starred Pakistan group, and it's one of the best places to learn patisserie in the country. And that is where I really learned my trade. I started Choux Box at the beginning of lockdown, actually. I needed to start my own business. Everything got cancelled. I had to think to myself, what am I going to do? There was a walk that I used to do with my dog to a park, and I noticed there were a lot of people there every day. You know, this is an incredible park with an amazing view. So I just thought to myself, you know, what can I do there to make some money, basically? I had a little trailer and I knew that if we had something to offer people there, coffee with a delicious treat, we would do well. So it got me thinking, what's different? I knew that I liked choux buns. I knew that we could explore that a bit more. So I just started experimenting, started putting different things on top and started doing things that I love to eat. So when I first started Choux Box, I had an old burger van which I converted into a kitchen.
The old trailer. Hey.
I had one oven, I didn't have any running water, any hot water, I had nothing at all. I was having to start work at about 3 in the morning because I only had the one oven, and you know, I was having to refresh that oven about 5 times to keep up with the demand. Sometimes in the winter, I'd come into the trailer, I'd have icicles coming off the ceiling. You know, you turn the oven on and it would start raining in there because it was all melting. You know, I made it work.
Fun times. Yeah, fun times. You know, the hard times always become the good times. That's the thing. You look back on them. Because at the time, oh God, it was hard. I remember just being like, what am I doing?
But eventually I was doing so many choux and macarons on my own that I realised I couldn't carry on like that. So I decided to take the leap to take on a big commercial kitchen, which was really scary. In a very short space of time, I took on another site and I had 7 employees. It's an emotional roller coaster, you know, learning as you go along, because at the end of the day, I'm a pastry chef. You know, that's what my trade is. I'm not a businessman. But what I've learned is as long as what you're doing you believe in and you think is good, then that's all that matters. So every week we do a brand new choux special. After working in restaurants and patisseries, you know, for 10 years, you learn lots of stuff, but you don't get to use your skill sets. Doing a special every week allows you to use all the skills that you've acquired, and it allows you to be incredibly creative, which is exciting. You know, it keeps things interesting. You know, as a creative person, I need to be excited to move forward with things. So the special this week, a Snickers bar. It's a vanilla creme patisserie. It's a peanut butter custard. On top of that, you've got chocolate ganache. On top of that, you have a lush, sweet pastry tart that we make. You have a chocolate ganache in there. You have caramelized peanuts in there. And then you have an Italian meringue, a peanut butter caramel. It is delicious. And you can take that to a whole new place, but it still be a Snickers bar.
I think Orlando's most impressive attribute is his creativity, the way he comes up with the ideas for the specials every week. He brings the idea in and we'll talk about it together, and then we'll come up with this amazing creation every week.
The way it usually works is I'll go for a walk with my wife on a Tuesday and we'll come up with the special, then we'll talk about it, and then on the Thursday we'll have one day in the kitchen to get it right.
Yeah, we talk through stuff. I'm sort of like the sounding board, so when he has ideas or like concerns, a lot of the time I don't even really need to answer. He just wants to like say it out loud to someone. Occasionally I'll give feedback, occasionally not. You know, it's just airing stuff. When you work for yourself, which we both do, it's really hard to switch off. It's really hard to sort of like find that line between home and work. So yeah, it can be stressful, but it's just sort of part of it, isn't it? You just help the person like live the dream.
Getting 4,000 choux ready for Friday is a dance. There's a really narrow window when we can make the choux and keep them fresh and delicious for our customers. So we have to do a lot of work in a very short amount of time. You would never expect there's just us two in the kitchen. Every week we get through about 100 litres of cream, 15 kilos of ground almonds. We get through a lot of ingredients, but they are turned into the most delicious things you ever eat. This is our fourth premises now, and I can't really believe that we've come this far in just 3 years. If you told me this at the beginning of lockdown when all my work was cancelled and I was just working out of a burger van, I never would have expected any of this. It's a dream come true. The difference in this premises is it's a lot larger. We have a lot of seating indoor and outdoor. It's got an amazing community feel. It's placed on an incredible green space, so there's amazing walks. It's a really, really fun little location that's been left to rewild. We also do a savoury choux here, which is hot. We do a brunch choux. So think of an eggs benedict in a choux with a few little twists along the way. This is really the culmination of 10 years of hard work, like learning to be a pastry chef, and then the last 3 years learning to be a businessman. You know, it's completely different, but I love every single second of it. What can I say about my customers? Well, they are the people that make the shoe happen. They are the most incredible people that have supported us on this amazing journey for 3 years. None of it could be possible without them. And you know, I value each and every one of them. You know, they really, really make it all happen. So, you know, what I want to say to my customers is a big shoe thank you. I'm so lucky to say that I love what I do. I love Choux Box, I love my business, I love everyone that works for me, I love all my customers, and I can't wait to see what Choux Box brings us in the future.